Hello, parents and guardians. This is Chris Longo, and I wanted to take a few minutes to explain how my geometry classroom is going to work at some point in time during the semester because it is a little bit different. I call it the student-paced classroom because the students are actually going to take control of their learning in groups or as an individual. And the students are actually going to decide what's going to work best for them, and that includes setting the pace. They're going to pick and choose their quiz days, their test days. They're going to get to take quizzes in groups because it is important for students to learn how to work collaboratively on a task that is worth points or has value. They're going to choose their test days. They will have to take them individually because I do need to accurately assess a student on how prepared they are to move on to Algebra 2 Trig. But they're going to have that opportunity to choose when they are ready. Now, of course, they are going to have to finish all of the material by the end of the semester, but they do get to kind of pick and choose how they're going to get there. Now, this will not be implemented until after I feel the students are ready to do so. Usually that takes 2, maybe 3 chapters, and after that, they're let free and they get to set the pace. Now, because of that, they're going to learn many other executive functions, so more than just math. They're going to learn how to take responsibility for their own learning. They're going to learn time management skills and how to be proactive instead of procrastinate. They're going to learn how to self-assess. They're going to learn some error analysis skills. They're going to learn how to work together and work collaboratively with other students. And they're going to learn how to work through distractions as well, because if students are all on different paces, they're going to be having students take quiz on one day while another group is working, while another group is taking a test. So it's going to be a little bit different, and they will learn how to work and focus on what they need to work on and not what other students are. So for the past couple of years that I've been doing this, I always give surveys at the end of the semester to find out what the students like about it, what they would like to change, and how much they like it in comparison to other styles of classrooms. And over the years that I've been doing this, 80% of students that have filled out surveys have said that this is their preferred style of classroom because they really like the flexibility. They like the teamwork. They like to be able to help one another out. They like to be able to pick and choose their own quiz and test days so they feel more ready. And below are comments directly from the students that they have filled out on the surveys. Now, of course, these are the most popular ones, such as they feel more prepared for college because they learned how to budget their time and not slack off. They have reported that at the beginning, they didn't like it so much because they're so used to being told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and how to get an A on it, instead of giving them the flexibility to do what they need to do, what's going to work best for them. But once they learn how to take advantage of the flexibility, they've said that they loved it. Students that are in multiple honors or AP classes, or students that are in sports, it's one of the things where if you come home from an away game at 10 o'clock at night, you don't have to go race to study for a geometry test because you can choose to take it a day later. Or if you have 3 tests on a given day, it's a difficult thing to do is take 3 tests on one day. So you can take geometry a day before or a day later. So you're not so crammed with tests in one day. Students have said that the best way to be successful in this class is to find a group of students that you can work with, not get lazy, do your practice problems, take your notes at home so you can spend class time wisely going over the practice problems together and asking questions, because I am available for students to ask questions in class every day. I will guide them. I will give them suggestions. I will help them. I will fix their mistakes. I will get to go over quizzes and tests with them so they can figure out what each student did wrong individually instead of me just talking about it in front of the entire class. So there's a lot more one-on-one opportunities for students as well. The main thing students have reported that they don't like this class is simply because they say that they are lazy. And it's one of those things where if they were to do it again, they said they wouldn't be so lazy, because when you procrastinate in this class and you find yourself a week behind schedule, all of a sudden you have to work twice as hard to get caught up before the end of the semester. Okay? And again, many students have reported that they used to have trouble focusing in other classes when there was a little bit of background noise, but they said they have learned how to ignore the distractions and work through. Just a couple of different additional lifelines that students will have in geometry, and they are based on what is known as a goal packet. So during every unit, at the beginning of every unit, the students will receive a packet of practice problems. And they'll receive it on the first day of the unit, and they don't have to turn it in until the day they take the test. And they get class time to work on it. They can work on it at home. They'll have plenty of time to get it done, and it's worth 10 points. But it's not the points that really make the difference here. It's the bonuses that come along with it. So the first bonus is they get what is called a quiz replacement. So we'll pretend that they're working on area. An area is fairly difficult to get started with because there are so many different formulas and when do you use which one. So we're going to take two students that get the exact same quiz and test scores. The only difference is the goal packet, and I'm going to show you what a quiz replacement does. So we're going to pretend that two students didn't do so well on their first quiz and they get a 60% on it. And then we're going to take those exact same two students and say that on their second quiz they got a 70% on it. And here's the difference. Student 1 turns in a perfect goal packet and gets a 10 out of 10. Student 2 doesn't, and they do a little bit more than half of it. But both of them have learned their lessons. They learned how to apply area formulas, and they both get a 90% on their test. What happens to student 1 because they did their goal packet is I will delete their quiz grades of a 60 and 70 and replace it with the test grade that they have scored. Now, it will not go down if their test is lower than one of their quizzes. It is only designed to help students. And the reason why I do this is if a student doesn't know how to solve some area problems one day, but then takes the time over the course of the next week to figure it out, they've learned how to do it. I feel their grade should represent what they know now, not what they didn't know a week ago when they were still struggling to understand the concept. But that benefit is only given if they complete the goal packet. It's the one and only packet they're going to receive each unit. The other bonus is if a student gets a 10 out of 10, they can retake tests. So if a student gets a 70% on a test and they wish they would have done better, as long as they talk to me about it, and we could probably let them retake it within a week so they don't let it just fall aside and forget about it, they'll have the opportunity to retake a test if they would like as well. So in geometry, they are going to have many opportunities to be successful. They just have to make sure that they are working hard and taking advantage of it. Okay, so thank you for your time. I just wanted to explain how my classroom works because it is a little bit different. Remember, this has not started yet. It will probably start after they finish the second unit of the semester, if I feel that they are confident and ready to work and they're responsible enough to do it. If I feel they need one more chapter, I will probably give it to them. But that's pretty much it. So anyway, thank you very much for your time. And this is Longo, and I'm out. See you, bye.